Anyone got a pencil? Hello and welcome to the Mixtape podcast. My name's Mark and I am your host. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. Every week on the show, I ask my guests to make up an imaginary mixtape and pick 6 tracks for it. I've had some incredible chats. They're already there in the archives, just waiting for you to stumble across them. I've had chats with Steve Kilby from The Church, Rowetta from the Happy Mondays, Rick from Ash. I've had Al Anderson, one of the original Wailers. I've had Clint Boone from Your Spiral Carpets. I've had Donita Sparks from L7. I've had Scott Kirkland from The Crystal Method. There's lots and lots of episodes sitting there waiting for you to discover. If you enjoy this week's episode, please feel free to rate it 5 stars on Spotify and or jump up to the top of the page and hit that old follow or subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time there is a new episode. Catch up with everything I'm doing by going to www.themixtapepodcast.com. That's enough of the intro. I hope you enjoy this week's episode. Hello, welcome to the Mixtape, and today on the show is an absolute pleasure to be joined by Charlie Lane. How are you, Charlie?
I am very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming on and making the time. Now, your new single, Gold Drip, is out now. Just tell us a little bit about the single and your inspiration behind, lyrically and musically, the recording sort of process that you had for that single.
Yeah, sure. So I guess a little bit about the process. It was all written and recorded during, well, it wasn't recorded. It was definitely written a little bit before lockdown, a little bit after lockdown. So in that really weird that time in COVID. So it was a bit frustrating really, because I was like all ready to go and then I wasn't. But originally it was co-written with a guy called Lyra Colpiano. And then after lockdown, I started writing with my co-writer Adam Jack Heath. So yeah, that's kind of where it started. And then lyrically, it's kind of about a codependent relationship I was in, and then it became about enmeshed family relationships. That's all lyrically. It's probably more like a blues pop rock song with some like synths in there. It became really quite an eclectic song. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of a bit about Gold Drips. Yeah.
And you had your launch night at the Workers Club, not last week, the week before, I think. How was that for you?
Yeah, March 14th. That was really fun. I mean, I haven't performed in quite a long time, so it was really, really exciting. And we had a ball. I was jumping off stages. I was doing whatever. It was really fun. And I think the guys had a really good time too. So yeah.
Seen some awesome Instagram clips and shorts of that on your Instagram over the last few days. Just shout out your Instagram, Charlie, for everyone. Is that the best place to connect with you?
It is. It's Charlie Lane Music. So
Charlie Lane Music on Instagram. Okay, cool. And future plans, Charlie, what have you got coming up? Any future gigs or any more recording? What's coming up for you in the next sort of few weeks?
Look, I think we've got it's a track off the album, so we've got 11 more tracks to go. I mean, we're not doing them single by single, please. But I mean, we'll do a few singles, but I think we'll deal with recording in the future. In terms of, we want to do a regional tour probably mid-year to late year, but we'll deal with we've got some upcoming gigs soon, but we won't speak about them now. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's cool. It's cool. If that's embargo, that's all good. No worries. If you want to keep up to date with what Charlie's doing, and it's like we said, it's Charlie Lane Music on Instagram. And what I'll do, if you're listening on the podcast or the YouTube channel, then there will be a link in the description to Charlie's socials and tickets and everything else that you might want to catch up with. Okay, Charlie, mixtape tracks. Now, as you know, the show's called The Mixtape, and I like to get people on and make up like, an imaginary mixtape. And whenever I make up a mixtape, I always kick it off. Track one, always like try and be like an attention grabber to kick it off in good style. So what did you pick for your track one, Charlie?
So I picked Gold Lion from the Yeah Yeahs because I just love that song. I reckon I bought that album when I was like 18 or 19, and I just listened to that album, not just that track, just repetitively. I just love Karen, her stage performance as well. I just watch her on YouTube just to even get myself ready for performing, and I'm just like, Man, she's awesome. Like, she's just so good. So yeah, I picked that track for a starter. It's a pretty big banger. So
I
yeah.
think that looking at your choices that you picked, I think stage presence really comes through a lot in your different choices. Like some of the artists that you picked, I don't want to spoil it too much going forward for your choices, but some of the artists you picked have got like real stage presence, and Karen O definitely falls into that category. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm giving away too much on my age here, but I remember getting into them when they first sort of blew up in sort of late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, fantastic band, and yeah, always a good live show. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
good.
So I'm not sure. Are they still touring? I don't know if they're still touring or if they're still
I
together as a band,
don't
or is she
know.
doing solo stuff, and I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. You know what? I should,
Yeah,
well, you know what I'm going to do after this?
yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, me, same, same. I'll link this in as well as a sort of a really nice circle back, and this is a little bit of a spoiler alert to your track six, but I did read that she's done some soundtrack work a fair few times over the years, movie soundtrack, and she did a
Oh,
movie soundtrack called Where the Wild Things Are, and she wrote every track on the soundtrack except for one, which was a Daniel Johnson track. So that circles
no.
round really nicely to your track six, which we'll get to. There's a little
Oh,
teaser for your track six. Yeah, I just read that and I was like,
damn.
oh, that's really weird. That's really strange.
That's
Yeah,
so cool.
little coincidence. Okay, Charlie, track two is a song that you sing when you're on your own in the car
Definitely
or the
is.
shower.
Yes, it's Joss Stone, Right to Be Wrong.
Yeah,
It is a big, I sing this so often. It's not even just in the shower, it's just everywhere. It's not even just Right to Be Wrong. I sing Joss Stone
yeah.
everywhere because I mean Right to Be Wrong, it's such a good song. And I reckon I bought this as a single too, not
Mm,
just the album. So that shows my age.
yeah.
But yeah, it's such a good shower song because like it's a big song. She's got a big voice, and it's
Mm,
like I think there's even a lyric in it about going off key. So it's
mm,
like it just tells you something. Like you can go off key and it doesn't matter. So
yeah,
especially
doesn't
in the
matter.
shower. Yeah.
And that's a good
Yeah.
metaphor for life as well. It doesn't matter.
Make mistakes, whatever.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, every mistake's a learning opportunity. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, for sure, for sure. The Soul Sessions obviously was her first album, which
Hmm.
was a massive breakout album when that first came out. I remember her blowing up, especially obviously she's from the UK. But the second album, Mind, Body and Soul, I prefer that to the first album. I think it's so much. It's the same producer, but the
Mm.
production is so much better. I think on the second album, it sounds so much smoother and slicker. And yeah, I mean, some people don't like that, but in that sort of genre, that's what I like. I like it,
Yeah.
that smooth, slick sound. And I think, and that track especially is smooth as silk. Like the vocals on that is unreal.
It's the guitar as well. It's just so everything's just so good on that song. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. What I do, Charlie, on the podcast, I can't include the music because obviously it's licensed content, so I can't include it
Mhm.
in audio. But what I do is I'll put a link to a Spotify playlist with all your tracks, and then if that playlist will contain Gold Drips and a few other of your tracks as well. So people want to drop out again. If you're listening on the podcast, you can drop out into the description, and there'll be Spotify playlist of all the tracks that Charlie's picked and some of her own, including the new single Gold Drips. Okay, track three,
Thank you.
Charlie, is your
Mhm.
favorite cover version. What did you pick for that?
I picked Joe Cocker. I love that version of the Beatles. Oh, what did I pick? It was, yeah, the Beatles.
With a little help from our friends.
Little Help from My Friends. That's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that's just the the vocals that come in, the choir. Was it a choir or just like, no, the backing vocals that I don't know how
yeah,
many of them are there, but it's just huge. It's just like, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
his raw bluesy voice that comes in. It's just like, whoa, you don't expect it. It's just him, like he comes in,
yeah,
and then these vocals, and they're just like, you just really feel like you've just got a whole bunch of friends, and you just, oh, okay, like let's go.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just a great feel. I love that song.
There's not many songs covers that I would say are better than the original, but and I'm not dissing Ringo Starr and his vocal style or anything like that because he sings that obviously on the Beatles version. But yeah, that's streets ahead. That's just that's an unreal
Yeah.
cover. That's up there with All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix and
Mhm.
Hurt by Johnny Cash as like the cover version just is so much better than the original. Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic choice. And like you say, the production and the epic, it's like an epic sound on that. Like it's just so
Yeah, the
huge
dynamics.
compared to
It's
the
just like,
original. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. And I
Yeah,
was
like I
going to
say.
choose Hurt by Johnny Cash, but then I was like, oh, no, Joe Cocker. Joe Cocker.
I
That has
think
to be.
what is a conversation I've had with three or four people now in this part of the mixtape is they've said obviously Hurt by Johnny Cash is the one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that aside, this is my choice. I think that's sort of a given that that's
Yeah,
like
isn't
the
it?
greatest cover version ever. But apart from that, it's this one. I think everybody just assumes and recognizes that that is it. And yeah, you
Yeah.
can't really go past that. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, track 4, Charlie, and I asked you to pick a song you wish you could play to your 18-year-old self. What did you pick for that?
Yes. I picked Hold On by the Alabama Shakes, which I think Brittany is doing her own thing now, but Brittany Howard.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just loved the Alabama Shakes.
Mm,
They put out the 2 records, and Hold On was, I think, was it the first single? I
mm.
just wish I could play that to my 18-year-old self. It was a really like just literally hold on, and I was
Yeah,
such a
yeah,
depressed
yeah,
little 18-year-old. I wish I could have just been like,
yeah.
everything is gonna be okay. But it was such a wicked song, like it was so
Mm,
good. And her voice, the same thing, like it was just this raspy, just cool. Like I didn't see the kind of in studio video clip, and I only heard the song first. And I was like, immediately went to YouTube. I was like, I have to see who is singing this song. And I was like, oh my God, like did
yeah,
not, when you visualize something in your
yeah,
head and
yeah,
then you go
yeah,
watch
yeah,
it, I was
yeah,
like, who is this chick? Like, oh
yeah.
my God. Yeah,
I know
that
she's
was
unreal,
cool.
and again, that goes back to what I said at the start about your choices and stage presence and performance. Like she's unreal, like as a live performer. I've never seen Alabama Shakes live. I've missed them, so yeah, maybe if I can catch Brittany Howard solo, I will. Yeah, that she's high on my list of people to catch live for sure. What sort of stuff were you listening to when you were 18? What was your sort of influences growing up?
Oh, my dad listened to a lot of blues. So it was like blues, soul. Pretty much we weren't allowed to listen to the radio. It was just like just
Yeah,
strict blues and soul on dad's side. And then mum was very much like Joni Mitchell, yeah, that kind of vibe. And then top 40 radio. And so we had
yeah,
like
yeah,
very divided, like I'd go to my dad's and it would be like blues and soul. And then it was like Joni Mitchell, Carole King-ish, pop 40, top 40, sorry, pop 40, top 40. And then, so I was kind of like, yeah, those kind of artists. And then I'd go to, I guess when I grew up going to uni, then I got introduced to all these indie artists. And I'm like,
yeah.
what is indie? I had no idea. Like, what is this? And then I had to that's why I guess I'm a bit of an eclectic artist because I grew up with so much, but yeah, very, very versatile.
All right, Charlie. And track 5 is a song you would put on your mixtape to let the listener know you are romantically interested. Who would you pick for that?
Gotcha. So I put Mia Ray, which is an Australian artist.
Mm,
I love this track. It is called Tell Her.
mm.
She just did a few gigs at the Bergie Salsa, which is a place not too far away from my house. But yeah, I love this song. It's really cool. It's just kind of like having a crush on someone with a load of self-doubt. And yeah, that's
Mm.
how I feel I would try and hit on someone. Just be like, hi, bye.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny. Has it ever worked for you? Has anyone ever wooed you with a mixtape, or have you ever gone the other way and tried to do it yourself with a mixtape? Has that ever worked for you?
You know what? It's been that long, I can't remember. But maybe, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I should.
Tapes and burning CDs are a thing of the past. I think now that's more for my generation. It's more playlists and stuff like that now. I did actually have to explain to one guest once what a mixtape was because she didn't know. Yeah,
Oh
she was like, "What's a
no.
mixtape?" Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, but yeah, it's all good. It's generation for you. All right. And
Yeah.
finally, Charlie, track 6 is something a little bit obscure, left field, or something that maybe you think hasn't had the sort of recognition that it deserves.
Well, definitely, you kind of did a little spoiler before, but
Mhm,
Daniel Johnston, which
mhm,
is True Love Will Find You in the End.
mhm.
Honestly, I could just blab on forever about Daniel Johnston. And like I could have picked any of his songs because I'm just in love with Daniel Johnston. He's the most fantastic singer-songwriter, and he's definitely got a little cult following, but I don't think I think he does get credit, but he's so wonderful. He's just so cute, and like I guess because, you know, he had a lot of mental health issues, and you know, by the end, I guess like he could barely, you know, sing his songs because he had that piece of paper in front of you, and he couldn't really, you know, I don't know. He's just so special. But I love him, and I think he wrote a lot of dark lyrics, and I think he resonated with a lot of people. But yeah, I don't think he gets just enough credit, because I think a lot of people also cover his songs now, and I think they get probably more credit than he did. So yeah, but I just love him. Yeah,
I saw there was a cover album. I think there was a double album. There was a disc of covers and a disc of his originals. And there's some pretty big names on there, obviously, that have covered his songs. And I'd not heard of him until you picked him on the mixtape, and I'd done a bit of research. Interesting character. Wow.
Yeah, there's even a movie called The Devil and Daniel Johnston, which is I would definitely watch that, because it gives you so much more of an insight into who he was and why the way he was, and how he even became a little bit like, you know, famous. And it's super interesting, like insane. Yeah.
Speaking of the devil, one story that I read was that he refused to sign for Elektra Records because Metallica were on that label, and they thought they were too satanic and they would like do him harm in some way or another.
That would
like
make a lot of sense.
One of the biggest labels in the world. He was like, "Nah, I'm all right, thanks. You got Metallica. I'm not signing for you." Yeah, I love people like that, quirky people like that. Are you familiar with Vic Chestnut?
No.
I'll send you a link. I've got you on Insta. I'll send you a link to Vic Chestnut. It's very similar, sort of quirky, sort of songwriting style. Incredible artist. He's got a song called "I Flirted with You All My Life," which is my favourite song of all time, and it's so cleverly written lyrically. He's very much in a Bob Dylan sort of vocal style. He's not a you know, pitch perfect, you know, technical singer. He's very much like that. And he was a teenager. He was a singer songwriter when he was a teenager, and he ended up in a really bad car crash, and he was disabled from that, and he was in a wheelchair, and he used to play. He had a glove with two picks glued to the fingers, and he used to play like that. Like, he had really limited use of one of his arms as well. Amazing artist. And "I Flirted with You All My Life" is it's my favourite song of all time. It's probably giving too much away about me as a person, but it's really cleverly written. Like, you think, even from the title, I can tell you already got preconceptions about what this song's about, right? And it gets to the chorus, and it just flips it 180, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks when I first heard it. Yeah, I'll send you a YouTube link, because there's a YouTube video of him talking about the song and how he is as a performer, and then the live performance of that particular song. And it's amazing, and again, a really interesting life story. And I think there's a documentary on YouTube about him. A similar thing again. There's tribute albums, and I think Garbage have covered his songs. Yeah, loads of people have covered his songs. The album's called it's gone right out of my head. Oh, come on.
Send me the link, I'll look it up.
Oh God, this is what happens when you get older, Charlie. Stuff goes in, stuff has to come out.
It's happening to me now, don't worry.
God. It's not coming. Sweet Relief. Songs
Isn't it good when you forget something and it just
I know.
The moment it comes, you're like, yes.
Yeah. So Vic Chestnut, "I Flirted with You All My Life." I'd highly recommend that one to you. Yeah, I'll send you a link to the YouTube video. Let me know what you think of that. On that note, Charlie Lane, thanks so much for joining me on the mixtape this week. Gold Drips is out now on all the streaming platforms, and it's at Charlie Lane Music on the social media if you want to catch up with Charlie and everything she's up to. Thanks very much. Cheers for coming on.
Thank you. No
See you
worries.
later. That was the Mixtape podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to jump up to the top of the page and smash that follow button, and you'll be notified every time there's a new episode. Or follow me on Instagram at the Mixtape Perf. Until the next time.